One of my favorite quotes is from Think and Grow Rich. You become what you think about.
Yeah.
And so if you think about how your life sucks, your life is going to suck and you're going to go nowhere. But if you think like, hey, I can make my life better and better every day, then that's what you're going to do.
Hello and welcome to Pillars of Wealth Creation, where we talk about creating financial success with a special focus on business and real estate. I'm your host, Todd Dexheimer. Now, let's get to it. Hello and welcome back to Pillars of Wealth Creation. I'm your host, Todd Dexheimer. With me as always is Matt Jones. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good now that the riots are dying down in Minneapolis. So,
how close are you to those riots, Matt?
within a half a block of my house, 3 buildings got burnt down. Somebody tried to break into my garage, and luckily the deadbolt was good enough that kept them out. But
yikes!
Yeah,
man. A lot of crazy stuff going on. Hopefully they're dying down. I'm not quite convinced that they are yet, but hopefully what our National Guard now being in. So those of you who don't know, we're based in Minneapolis, where of course, and depending on when you're listening to this, but if you're listening to this right now, most of you know, obviously George Floyd was kneeled on and died because of that. And it doesn't look very good, right? It looks pretty, not all the evidence is out yet, but from what we see, it looks like he was murdered by a police officer, which is obviously horrible. And a lot of people aren't happy, including myself. I mean, it's a terrible thing. Now, some people think that all cops are bad, and that and other people think, well, this is one bad apple. And obviously, so there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. It doesn't matter really what you think. I mean, it does, but I mean, as far as this conversation goes, and so like there's a lot of problems, right, going on, and we're in the middle of COVID. Just a week ago, it wasn't cool to be in large groups. It wasn't cool to be in a group in our state, you could be in a group of 10 or less, right? You couldn't go to restaurants. You couldn't, do a lot of things. We were trying to socially distance. And last week, social distances was kind of thrown out the window. We had groups of thousands of people protesting shoulder to shoulder, face to face. And, and so we got the COVID, we got the protests, we got riots, we've got an economy that appears to be pretty much in shambles, being only held together by the government throwing money at it. So we got a lot of crazy stuff going on. So how do you stay focused, man? How do you continue to push on? Because I'm guilty of looking at my phone way too much, going to news stations, and some of it is like, it's good to stay updated, but how much is too much, and how much is a distraction, and what should we be focusing on?
Yeah, this negativity. I mean, if you focus on that, that's only going to bring more negativity to your life. You get what you pay attention to. One of my favorite quotes is from Think and Grow Rich. You become what you think about.
Yeah.
And so if you think about how your life sucks, your life is going to suck and you're going to go nowhere. But if you think like, hey, I can make my life better and better every day, then that's what you're going to do.
Right. And so that brings up a fair question is, well, but there is a lot of pain and suffering going on right now, right? I just said it, like there's a pandemic going on. There's rioting going on. And even if you're not out there protesting or rioting, certainly most of us are aware that there's problems, right? And that it's not perfect, and that people are angry, and properties are getting destructed, and racism is happening, and all kinds of stuff is going on that is affecting our lives. So there's a lot of anger right now. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of fear. I think it's really important to understand that out of this, here's how I'm trying to cope with it. First of all, I'm trying not to be sucked in, right? I'm trying not to have it be a part of my daily habits, by really making it a big part. But I also want to be aware. Like, I don't want to be the person that just completely ignores it and pretends like there's no issues in the world, right? So you do want that. You have to appreciate that there's people out there right now that feel abandoned, that feel like their voice is not being heard, whether it's with the riots, protests, or whether it's with the lockdowns, the shutdowns, the business owners. And so you have to realize there's a lot going on. Like, that's important. But for me, I've been really trying to focus on what what can I do out of this to improve, right? To not only just improve myself, but improve the situations, right? Improve the world. Try to do good out of this. Try to make this a positive thing. Hopefully with the rioting, with the George Floyd death, I mean, you look at it and it was terrible that he died. But I believe that God has a plan, and if we allow that plan to actually happen, maybe that death is the catalyst to long-lasting change, right? Maybe that death is the catalyst. Maybe George Floyd, we can consider him a hero, and we can consider that death not to be in vain, but to be a catalyst to making positive improvement between all races and for society as a whole, right? Maybe we can look at this pandemic as a positive. Yeah, there's people that are dying, there's people that are sick, there's hurt, there's pain, there's families that lost loved ones. I'm not going to take that away from anybody, but let's try to think of the positive that can happen out of this and focus on how can we be a part of the solution and not part of more pain and more suffering, and how can we really use this to make a positive impact in the world and long term, not just short term, not just today. So that's kind of what I'm really trying to focus on. And one thing I'm going to be adding is a lot more. I'm going to try to be adding a lot more Facebook Lives, YouTube, videos and things like that, to be able to try to help people and give away a lot of my knowledge and be able to serve people better, to really, just try to be there for everybody. And I think that's important. I have knowledge and I can share it with people. I have, um, you know, been in real estate for a while and seen a lot, and I'm hoping that I can share with other people to make a big difference in their life, and then focus on the areas of my business that I think I can, do really good and positive things. And so that's kind of, look, as you said, Napoleon Hill says, what you focus on, you become. And who do you want to become? You want to become the angry person that's going to light buildings on fire, or do we want to become the positive person, right? The person with energy, the person with, change in their heart, change, positive change in their heart. Do you want to be the person that's creating massive impact, or do you want to be creating massive destruction? Who do you want to be? And I think that's what you got to look at. What are you going to focus on today? Because we can all be angry. It's easy to be angry, right? There's a lot of hate and hurt and anger out there, but it takes a lot more to look at this stuff and go, okay, I'm going to be the positive. I'm going to be the light out there, and going to actually make a real difference, a positive difference.
Yeah. In every challenge, there's an opportunity. And whether that's
Every
in
challenge.
life in general or real estate itself,
Yep.
uh, focus on how you can grow and make things better, and
Yep.
your life is going to be better.
Yeah. Look, man, we've got no leadership in the U.S. I'm not going to talk like political affiliation. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican or Libertarian or communist or whatever you are. That's not what I'm talking about. We got no leadership. President Trump is not leading. He's causing a lot of division and hurt. And that goes, that, you know, he's a Republican, but that goes with Democrats too. I look at our mayors and our governor, they're doing a terrible job, in my opinion, of leading. They're all Democratic. And so nobody's leading, nobody's stepping up to lead. Like, be the leader, right? Be the voice, be the voice of reason, be the leader, be the person that's making positive impact in the world. And like, forget what other people are doing that's negative. Go beyond that. Just, you might not have the voice that President Donald Trump has. You may not have the voice that even your governor does or your mayor of your city does, but you can lead, you can be an example, and do what you can, whether it's big or small, do what you can to lead, to be a positive leader. This country needs leaders, and we're not seeing it, which is unfortunate. I actually saw again, I'm trying not to pay too much attention to news, but I was on my Facebook feed, and just something clicked, and it was a African-American protester that was protecting the police officers, kind of fighting the lines back because they were getting aggressive to the police. And this protester kind of came in and pushed everybody back, and like, wow, that's not, talk about leadership. You know, he's in this middle of this protest. And because of his actions, he potentially saved people's lives, saved people from getting hurt, saved, potentially a riot from starting. That's the leadership we need. We need people that are positive, that are willing to do that type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'd vote for that guy.
Yeah, right. I mean, there's great people out there. Unfortunately, in my opinion, we don't have people at the top that are able to lead, and I don't think we have people at the top that are trying to become at the top that are able to lead. But that doesn't mean all hope is lost, right? We have to do that ourselves. We can't just count on our presidents, our congressmen and women. We can't just count on those people to carry us through. We have to take action ourselves. We have to take responsibility ourselves and do what we can to lead and to make sure we're making the positive difference that we want to make.
Yeah, and the leaders in the government don't have nearly as much control over your day-to-day life as you do yourself. You have to be your own leader, and for those around you.
Yeah. Look, man, going back to focus, for those of you who are lost, for those of you who are feeling like, man, there's a lot of emotions going on. And even though if you're like, oh, I got this whole thing handled, and kind of the tough guy or gal type of personality, there's just a lot going on. And so you've got to focus. You've got to figure out how to, get your mind right to be able to be going down the right track to where you're going to grow your business, where you're going to make the differences that you're looking to make. So really think about what you're focusing on. Understand if you're on Facebook, if you're on, Twitter or wherever you're at, and you're focusing on the crap around you and you're getting angry at that stuff, just stop, hold back and go, okay, what am I doing to myself here? Why am I doing this? Why am I focusing on this? And make that mindset shift. You've got to let the boss take control. You can't let that, little voice that tries to get you distracted take control.
Yep. A book I read called Psycho-Cybernetics. I don't know if you've ever read that or not, but it's amazing at helping you to refocus on the things that you actually want to and will help you.
Yeah. Well, say the name again.
Psycho-Cybernetics.
Psycho-Cybernetics. Yeah, and now's a great time to. I was driving today across town, and right away my radio was tuned into like it was a radio station, but it was the morning show, right? And the morning show was talking about everything that's going on, and like I kind of started getting into it. I'm like, this is not what I need to hear this morning. This is not what I need to focus on right away. So I stopped it and I turned on a podcast that I was listening to the other day and allowed that to run instead. And so it just like refocus your brain, make sure that you're not getting totally distracted, totally caught up in all that kind of stuff.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome, Matt. Well, that's all I got for today. Just real short and sweet. Just wanted to make sure people are focusing. Make sure you're paying attention to what's important in your life and how you can make a positive difference.
Good.
Cool, man. Well, that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
Nope, not today.
Awesome, man. Well, you have a fantastic rest of the day and make every day a Saturday. Hey, thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you being a loyal listener. I would love to have you go on to our Facebook page and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, go on to iTunes or wherever you listen and give us a rating and review. Don't forget to subscribe. Your rating and review just helps us push this out to more and more people and continue to grow our audience and hopefully positively affect a ton of people out there that really need this and want this. So the other thing I've got for you is a free ebook on my website. So go on to venturedproperties.com, and download our free ebook on real estate and on syndication. And I've got some data points in there, some really good stuff for you. So I'd love to have you take a look at that. It's free. I'm not expecting anything from it. And also, look, if you want some help in multifamily, want some help learning, growing, getting your business off the ground, I would love to talk to you about what it would look like to work with me potentially and see if that's a good fit. So you can go to coachwithdex.com and check that out, and we can definitely have a call. Thanks a lot for listening. You make it a fantastic rest of the day. I'll catch you on the next episode.